Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and it's Friday. So, yes, it is another Friday funny. And who are we laughing at this week? Well, last week we laughed at the second highest national public servant in the occupation. And this week we're going to laugh at the first highest national public servant in the occupation. And car dealers are telling this puppet that it's time to tap the brakes on the unrealistic government electric vehicle mandate. And this is by the Auto Dealers Coalition. So we are just going to not only laugh at this embarrassment to this country, but we are going to, yes, just tell him stop. Okay, how about stop everything? But we can definitely stop at this electrical vehicle mandate. Now, this was picked up by a lot of places. Okay, this is Yahoo here, who embarrasses themselves, which says, despite the lures of energy efficiency travel, reduced noise, less expensive operating costs, and government endorsed tax credits. Okay, government tax credits, I think, is the only true statement there. Maybe, well, reduce noise too. Okay, but yeah, government tax credits, because you, the consumer who isn't buying this embarrassment of a non-environmental solution, pays enormous tax credits. I did a video on that, about how much you pay, $17 a gallon. And most of that isn't paid by the person driving the car, 17 miles a gallon for the equivalent electricity of a gallon of gas, okay, to operate the cars. And most of that isn't being paid for by the person driving the car thinking they're cool. It's being paid for by the government meddling in things the government shouldn't be in. Let the free market work. And that is, we can't even say taxpayer dollars. Okay. I say this all the time here. It is technically currency collapsing debt that in order to push this absolute ridiculousness the government's putting out. But, you know, this is the propaganda that Yahoo is putting out despite all of these advantages. Okay. There's no advantages. Did they mention the fires? Did they mention the price of batteries? No. They mentioned, you know, all the resources. Did they mention, oh, hey, you know what maybe we should be doing? Oh, I don't know. Oh, actually I do. How about hemp? No, of course they're not going to mention that. They're propaganda. But here it's on Autoblog, and Autoblog just says people just want to make their own choice about what vehicle is right for them. Oh, imagine that. And so, yeah, this was covered by Fox, and this was covered, even Axios. Okay. And they're definitely, on the side of the occupation. I would say they're nothing that's really on the side of America. But right here, it says that consumers just aren't interested, and electric vehicles are stacking up on dealer lots. So they say 3,882 franchise dealers from 50 states sent a letter to the highest level public servant, telling the occupation, they say administration here, to slow down the EV mandates. And how about just put a rest to these absolute ridiculousness? And these dealers are calling themselves the EV voice of the consumer. Okay, see, that's a problem with America. Okay? Where are Americans going out and saying enough? And not just about electric cars, okay? Where are they out doing it? Sure, they're doing it by not buying it, but where are they out using their voice? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere to be found, and they won't until the bottom falls out one day, and then they're all going to be screaming to the government who collapsed this country with the support of Americans letting it happen, you know? So the problem as with everything in America, is they're leaving it up to someone else to be their voice. Because good luck finding an American that actually acts like one. Okay, they can wave the flag all they want, but that's a good 4th of July, prop, basically. And so the consumers are right. I'm sure they're cheerleading this. Because somebody's got to talk for us. No, you need to talk for yourself. And essentially they are, because if the free market were just driving this electric vehicle ridiculousness, this would have stopped a long time ago. Because there is no market for it. And people would have never bought them if it wasn't for all of the currency collapsing debt, government subsidies going into this. Okay, this whole thing would have never happened. But right here, according to the Wall Street Journal, new car dealers, including those who didn't sign the letter, are sitting on a 103-day supply of EVs versus a 56-day supply of all other cars, regardless of fuel type. Selling an EV takes about 65 days, twice as long as a gas-burning model. And, this EV voice of the consumer is ridiculous too, because they say Mr. President instead of calling him an occupier. It's time to tap the brakes on the unrealistic government electric vehicle mandate. Allow time for battery technology to advance. Allow time to make, BEVs more affordable. Allow time to develop domestic sources for minerals to make the batteries. Allow time for charging infrastructure to be built and prove reliable. And most of all, allow time for the consumers to get comfortable with the technology and make the choice to buy an electric vehicle. Well, you know what? All of these are ridiculousness, because we should not be going down this electric vehicle category at all. Why doesn't it say allow time for them to become safe and not just, maybe that's the battery technology. Okay. Why don't we just actually talk about something that we wouldn't have to worry about and that people would get behind, which is hemp cars and hemp fuel. Okay. Why? Oh, that's right. Because the occupation won't allow that since Barack's first presidential campaign. Okay. But right now, let me tell you, okay, the car dealers aren't really acting as a voice of the EV voice, EV voice of the consumer. Okay, what they're acting as is actually the voice of the car dealer who isn't selling cars and vehicles or stacking up on their lot, and they're, on behalf of the consumer. No, on behalf of their businesses, because this is detrimental to their business. Okay? So let's not have any confusion there. So right now we are just going to say, can we finally put an end to this ridiculousness and get on some actual real solutions? And we are just going to, it's really sad, but laugh at this absolute embarrassment to this country in so many ways, driving it straight into the ground, of course, with Americans letting him. But we're just going to laugh at the absolute sheer insanity of not just electric vehicles, but okay, we can add in every other ridiculous thing that's going on, but definitely electric vehicles. So stay tuned, people.